The Chiefs have been the dynasty. The Seahawks are the defending Super Bowl champs. It's kind of easy to forget how good the Philadelphia Eagles have been over the last decade. An elite NFL team, arguably the team of the last decade. They've been in the playoffs 8 of the last 9 years, 3 Super Bowls, 2 titles over the last 4 years, 14 wins, 11 wins, 14 years, 11 wins. They've been elite in the Nick Sirianni era. What do we expect for 2026? Let's talk about it with the Philadelphia Eagles team preview, powered by Wager Talk. I'm Ted Saransky, Teddy Covers. And boy, guys, we appreciate the comments, the likes, the follows. Thank you for your support. Philadelphia this season, right now, we're looking at the Eagles as a team aligned. At 10.5 wins, the prevailing number for Philadelphia. There is juice to the under at many books for the Eagles. They are the favorites to win the NFC East, but not the chalk-laying favorites. Get the Eagles in the plus 120-ish range to win the division ahead of Dallas, Washington, and the G-Men. And again, when you've been in the playoffs 8 of the last 9 years, when you've been to 3 Super Bowls during that span, when you've won the 50 games over the last 4 years, they're good. They've been really good. Can they stay at that level? Again, they're not lined this year as a truly not an 11.5 win team, not a 12.5 win team. They're a 10.5 win team, and they're juiced to the under. So the markets are saying expect a little regression from Philadelphia. Let's talk about it. You have Nick Sirianni back. You have a new offensive coordinator in Sean Mannion. First year, first time OC. And there's been a lot of coordinator changes for Philadelphia in recent seasons. Last year, they're the number 24 ranked offense. Considering the weapons that they have and had, that is not what it should be, in theory. I can understand Mannion coming in. And, of course, Vic Fangio back on defense. We talk about the elite defensive coordinators. Fangio is going to be on anybody's list, and deservedly so. This team allowed only 14 passing touchdowns all season last year, number 1 in the NFL. 19 points per game, number 5 in the NFL. So Fangio this season, this offseason didn't get the resources perhaps that he was hoping for because Philly's first 5 draft choices all on the offensive side of the football. From a personnel standpoint, obviously you're talking about Jalen Hurts, who is 48-15 as a starter over the last 4 years. You know, that's pretty good. And by pretty good, that's freaking really good. You know, Philly's has been, they've won 50 games during that 4-year span. And last year, a 25-6 touchdown to interception ratio. Jalen Hurts takes a lot of abuse, takes a lot of heat. And again, just about every number went down last year from where it had been. You know, his rush attempts, his rushing first downs are way down. He didn't run the ball as well. He didn't throw the ball as well in theory. But still at 25-6 ratio. And, of course, Saquon Barkley, who the previous year ran for 5.8 yards per carry in 2024. Last year was only 4.1 yards per carry. We would expect that from any back that had the kind of season that Barkley had at his age. There's going to be regression. Barkley now, I'm not convinced that this year's going to be a, quote, bounce-back campaign for him. But Jalen Hurts has been good at start. Now, there may be offensive line issues behind Hurts this year, and that's, I'm looking at question marks for Philadelphia. Yeah, the loss of A.J. Brown, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about that in a minute. Last year, that offensive line had a ton of injury issues. Lots of depth on the offensive line as a result right now, but I don't know if the quality is all that good. You know, they lost their well-respected offensive line coach, and, you know, they got the Chris Cupper coming in to replace him from Minnesota. That's a big loss, if you ask me, for Philadelphia, because the continuity on that coaching staff, I know the corner has been changing, but the offensive line hasn't been that way. I worry about their offensive line this year, and again, it wasn't an elite unit last year. Now, they traded up in the draft for rookie wide receiver Mekhi Lemon. The number 2 pick was at tight end, Eli Stowers. You know, Devontae Smith, now expected to be the number 1 receiver, taking over for A.J. Brown, and that there could be some awkwardness there. There's a lot of pressure on the rookies in this lineup to succeed right away. Don't love the depth of this receiving core when it comes to what they did in free agency. Again, there's mediocre veterans they brought in, nothing that's going to move the needle for, oh, wow, this offense got better. The rookies for the Eagles are going to have to contribute. And if you're looking for long shot rookie of the year futures, Lemon would definitely be a guy that I would look at in there. Mekhi Lemon, the number 2 pick overall, the guy they drafted up to get. He's live in that regard. And again, I like to talk win totals on this, but Lemon is worth a look if you're looking at the Rookie of the Year market. For Philadelphia to have success this season, they're going to need their rookies to step up. And Lemon's a guy, again, if you like the Eagles over their win total, take a flyer on Lemon as Rookie of the Year. Not to be a big bet, but it's something worth noting. And wide receivers have been good when it comes to Rookie of the Year type of wagers. Before I talk about Philadelphia on the defensive side of the football, I want to let you know what's going on right now when it comes to my NFL season win report. I love this stuff, guys. I work all summer to give you these videos, to prep for the season, and to give my clients winners when it comes to NFL season wins. Over the last 25 years, I moved to Vegas in 98. I put out my first win report in 2001. Over the last 25 seasons, 105 and 56. That's 65% winners long term. Fully documented. 5% big ticket report, 17 and 5. 77% long-term, fully documented. Last year I lost. Losing season. That pissed me off. I've never had back-to-back losing seasons. Been working on this report basically since mid-June. Check it out. wt.buzz/TC or visit wagertalk.com. But don't buy the report, guys. This is the deal. All right. The report's $199. My full season is $599. I understand that's an investment. All right. But I'm going to win this year. It's been 26 seasons in Las Vegas. I've got a proven track record. I don't have back-to-back losing seasons. I've been working on the NFL all summer long. I'm ready. Take $50 off my full season. All right. You're going to get every play from week 1 of the preseason right through the Super Bowl. It's $5.99. That includes the win report, free. Take $50 off, promo code Teddy50. That'll get you every play from the start of the Hall of Fame game through the prop report in the Super Bowl. Again, Teddy50 at checkout will get you the season win report and everything else. I encourage you, check it out. On the defense side of the football for the Philadelphia Eagles, they have 2 Pro Bowl corners. Man, these corners are really good. When you're talking about Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, that is a duo that any defensive coach would be thrilled to have, and that's what makes Fangio's defense work, which is worth noting. If either one of those guys get hurt, this defense depends on lockdown corners. And on the lockdown corners, the defense doesn't work the same way. So know who they have. The rest of the secondary's got some issues. They brought in Reek Woolen from Seattle as a free agent. That said, he lost his job last year when the Seahawks went on to win the Super Bowl. So he started the year as a starter, and then he didn't finish the year as a starter. But there's some veteran talent there. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. That's an elite defensive tackle duo, too. They traded for Jonathan Greenard from Minnesota, defensive end. Zach Brown at the linebackers. It's certainly a defense that has plenty of talent. They did lose a couple of big names in free agency, but as you get to the level of Philadelphia, where you're elite, and you got to pay guys, what happens? You lose talent like A.J. Brown, you lose elite defensive players. The depth is a concern. For Philadelphia to have a successful season this year, and their successful season at Super Bowl upside. All right, the Eagles most assuredly could be back in the big game again this year. But for them to have that level of success, they're going to have to stay healthy. Depth for Philadelphia is most assuredly a concern. And, of course, Jalen Hurts was only number 20 in QBR last year out of 28 quarterbacks who qualified. I think he's better than that. I think there's room for improvement. And, of course, the team faced the number 4 hardest schedule in the NFL last year. That's based on my powering numbers the game the week was played. So those are my numbers that say Philadelphia was up against it schedule-wise last year. This year, schedule-wise, might not be as tough. And before I talk about the Eagles' schedule, one more thing I want to give you guys. $100 off. Free $100. All right. This is the biggest pro football survivor in history. Splashsports.com/wager talk. Password wager talk. All right. It's real simple. Survivor. You pick, you survive, you win. It's $21 million. 35 states it's allowed. And oh, by the way, it's not allowed in Nevada. What did I do? You drive across the border to California. It's a half hour away. You drive across the border to Arizona. It's 40 minutes away. You sign up there. You get everything situated. You come back to Nevada, you can play all year. That's what I did. Again, 35 plus states and Canada too. Splashsports.com, 21 million bucks. Splash Sports /Wager Talk. Password Wager Talk is a way to take advantage. And they're going to have a marketplace that's going to be ready to go by football season. You can cash out or sell your entry or buy into one. It's a cool concept. Check it out. And of course, Wager Talk customers get $100 back to use on other contests or quick picks. Their version of the single game parlay prayer pop stuff. Check it out again. Splashsports.com /Wager Talk and get that $100 off. Password Wager Talk when you use that. Scheduling standpoint for Philadelphia, again, the number 4 hardest schedule in the NFL last year. This year's schedule will not be as tough. NFC East teams play the NFC West, where 3 of the 4 teams are elite. That's tough. And of course, it's back and forth cross-country travel, which is never any good. They play the AFC South, which is also a fairly tough division. Houston, Jacksonville are both pretty good, and Indy's got upside as well. So that's not necessarily going to be easy. That said, they got a couple games against the Commanders. They got a couple games against the Giants. The 3 extra games, Chicago, Carolina, Pittsburgh, all of whom were pretty good last year, none of whom I think is better this year than they were a year ago. So certainly not much better, not from a power rating standpoint. So the Eagles' schedule's all right. This team's been pretty good, and I'm not expecting any significant drop-off. 14-11, they get to 11 wins this year. They'll cash over bets. If I'm playing the Eagles, I'll be on the over for Philadelphia. Will Philly be on my win report? Find out. Just visit my homepage, w.buzz /TC, or visit wagertalk.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the comments, the likes, the follows. Very much. Tell me what you think about Philadelphia. Good? Bad? Do you agree with me? Am I an idiot? Comment below, and we appreciate your support. Stay tuned right now for more quality video content. We've got team previews coming all August at Wager Talk TV right here on YouTube. Cheers. Thanks for watching.